Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm Kristen Strakalitis. Let's get right to your afternoon headlines. Volkswagen Group is shifting more production to North America and China. That as a result of the war in Ukraine. CEO Herbert Diess discussed the plans today with reporters. He says a lack of wire harnesses normally sourced from Ukraine was the most significant supply chain constraint at the moment. The situation was affecting most of the company's German plants. Diess says if the automaker is unable to relocate production in 3 to 4 weeks, its financial outlook will need to be revised. VW also warned that semiconductor shortages, supply bottlenecks, high commodity prices, and the war in Ukraine all could hit growth this year. Diess says that the commodity markets are likely to remain volatile until 2026. The European Union is reportedly discussing a ban on exports of vehicles to Russia worth more than about $55,000. Sources telling Bloomberg that the move would be part of the EU's latest sanctions package against Russia. The proposed ban would apply to models from several European brands, including Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Ferrari, and Porsche. However, VW Group already announced stops on exports to Russia earlier this month. The luxury vehicle ban would carry more symbolic weight than economic bite. Russia represents about 2% of global sales for Europe's major luxury vehicle brands. In other news, Mercedes-Benz says that its electric vehicle battery partner Envision AESC will build a U.S. plant to supply Benz's Alabama factory. Production is expected to start mid-decade. Mercedes is putting together the pieces it needs to launch EV production at its assembly plant near Birmingham, Alabama. Auto Forecast Solutions says U.S. production of the electric EQS SUV should begin in June. Assembly of the EQE crossover will start next October. Once production ramps up, the factory is expected to churn out 6,000 EVs a month. Mercedes did not disclose the location or production capacity of Envision's new U.S. factory. The Japanese company also supplies batteries for Nissan's U.S.-made Leaf hatchback. Separately, Mercedes also flipped the switch on a new battery assembly plant located near its vehicle factory. It will employ up to 600 workers and is part of Mercedes' $1 billion investment to start EV production. And turning to China, the country's efforts to curb COVID-19 outbreaks has forced Toyota and VW to suspend some operations. Multiple Chinese cities have tightened restrictions in line with the country's zero-tolerance goal when dealing with the virus. Toyota says its joint venture with China's FAW Group has suspended production in Changchun. VW also suspended output at its vehicle and component plants with FAW in the same city. That is our time for now. Remember, first shift comes your way tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful afternoon.